Good morning from fan favorite Castaway Cay here on the Disney Wish. We are in Marceline Market this morning getting some breakfast, and it is a beautiful day here on Castaway Cay, and people are very excited to get out on the beach. But first, we are getting some breakfast.
My meal consists of the famous Mickey Churro waffles I got some mushrooms, some fried eggs, a tomato, and some grits. There's always cast members around to help you grab because, of course, some of the stuff is behind glass and partitioned up. I highly suggest you do a loop around first before you decide what you want because there's a variety of different items here. Going to go ahead and dig in and see how it is. But yeah, overall, it's pretty easy to get your food up here in the buffet.
I pre-ordered last night, knowing that the Mickey Churro waffles can come in gluten-free, but you do need to pre-order them. So I did that with my server at dinner, and I've never had them before, so I'm excited to try them. I also got some eggs and turkey bacon, and I have my coffee. So when you have an allergy and you want to come to the buffet, there's a couple of different things you can do. One, you can pre-order, like I said, the night before, if you know what you're going to want, and just tell them, and then it'll make the process a lot easier and quicker. Or if you haven't pre-ordered, you can go find one of the employees and ask to speak to an allergy person, and they will bring you a manager who will then go through, what you would like. If you want to do a lap first, like Adam had suggested for folks in wheelchairs, if you also want to do a lap first to see what looks good, and then you can, thank you so much. He just brought me syrup. You want to do a lap first in order to see what you might like, and then you can tell them, and they will actually make it in the back so that there's no worries about cross-contamination if that's a concern for you. And then you tell them where you're sitting, and they bring you your meal. So it's actually very nice and calm and nice to be able to sit down and have your meal brought to you as opposed to fighting through the thing. It does take longer though, so you need to leave yourself more time. And also, don't come at the last minute if you think you're going to be wanting seconds, because that's not going to be a thing, right? So just be prepared. It's going to take a little longer. So I think we've been up here for maybe 20, 30 minutes. So not too bad, but it does take some time. So how was your meal?
It was very good. There's like a variety of stuff there. They have congee, they have fried rice, they have all your sausages and bacon and all that. Once you go around and decide what you want by doing a walkthrough, stop at the station you would like. Because the stuff is behind the counter, the cast member has to plate it for you. So once they plate it, they generally ask you, do you need anything else? You say yes or no. And so if you say yes, they will come around, hand you your plate, and another crew member will come and start to help you with the other stations. So if they go to all the stations, you want eggs, hash browns, or whatever after you get your Mickey Churro waffles. And so, yeah, they'll follow you around to the station by station to get what you want and get what you need.
And do you think it would be, if somebody knows they need assistance, rather than having to go to the counter first, like after they do their lap to figure out what they want, do you think they could just go get assistance first?
Right, they could. The crew members are always around. Like right now, there's like 5 within my eye line right now. They'll also ask you, do you already have a table? Which is both good and bad. Sometimes if you can find a table ahead of time, try to grab it. That way you have somewhere to go and you can park. Otherwise, they'll help you find a table to help you sit down.
So the Churro waffles, gluten-free or regular, are very popular. One of the more popular things on a Disney Cruise Line vacation, maybe second to the chicken strips, but it's only available usually like once each sailing. And so your best bet is to ask either one of your servers at dinner, or the next time you're in Marceline Market, what day is going to be Churro Day. And certainly you want to ask, if you really want them, ask towards the beginning of the cruise so that you make sure you plan to go to Marceline Market that day. I've heard that occasionally people have been able to get them as an allergy order in the dining room, but I wouldn't bet on that. I think you just need to come up to Marceline Market to get them. So be prepared, and if you have an allergy, pre-order. That's going to be your best bet for the allergies, so that you make sure that they have enough for you. I don't even know if you can get them if you don't pre-order the allergy version, because they're not like out or anything. All right, so what's your plan after breakfast?
I plan to go and head out on Castaway Cay. Going to go out, get off the ship, and do a little bit of exploring. Um, it's a nice day outside. It doesn't seem super hot, but we're in the Bahamas, so it's going to be a little bit warm out there. Going to go out there, see what's what, and do a little bit of exploring today.
So Adam's never really been a beach guy. Even pre-accident, he was not a beach guy. Before the injury, we would go to the beaches. We did a lot of cruises. We would go to beaches together. And it was more like me dragging him to the beach because I'm a beach girl and he's not, and that's fine. But he would go with me, and he would get in the water and chill on the beach and then go back. Post-injury, it's just not as fun because it's a lot of hassle, and when he's not a guy that likes getting in the water anyway, I mean, he barely even uses I've been begging him to use the pool lifts just so that we can get footage of him using a pool lift, and this is cruise number 7 and he's not yet used the pool lift, right? So he's not a water guy. And so I have not actually experienced the beaches at Castaway, despite this being our 7th Disney sailing, because it's just not fun to do by yourself. Like, for me. And so I would rather stay on the ship and use it as a spa day. I think if you like going to the beach by yourself, by all means, you should go. Like, don't suggest that for some reason you can't here. I'm sure it's very safe. I'm sure it's very, one of the things that I always worry about going by myself is, safety, but I would imagine that it would be extra safe here on Castaway. I just don't want to, and I certainly don't want to drag him out there because of the hassle involved, and it's not the same. So maybe I hope to bring my nephew on one of these cruises, and then I'll probably do the beach, but for now it just feels like a sandy hassle and lonely. I'd rather just go to the spa, hang out, enjoy our balcony. We have a really good view from our balcony of Castaway in a way that I don't think we've backed in this way before. So I'll probably enjoy the balcony some. I'll go to the rainforest room. I will use this as a relaxing day. The ship should be pretty empty because, this is a 3-day sailing and everybody's going to be going to Castaway. So I think it'll be a nice day to be on the ship. So that is my plan for the day.
Okay, we are headed down to Castaway. Be very careful when coming down the ramp. It's very steep at the very, very end. There's our ship, the Disney Wish. Welcome to Castaway Cay here at Bahamas.
So remember when I said that going to the beach was a hassle? Well, I didn't realize that while my husband was out exploring, he found that Castaway Cay has actually installed Moby mats in multiple places. They're on the family beach, adults only beach. There's even an area where you can sit and actually drive up to the seats. So I could have been in lounge chairs while he was in his power chair having full autonomy. Because the other thing is, when you're in a beach chair, you lose your ability to just move around as you want to. Now, did my husband tell me about this when we were at Castaway or when we were on a back-to-back so I could have gone the second time? Nope, I found it while I was editing footage. But if you are headed to Castaway, this is amazing. Let us know how this is. I guess I have to book another cruise so that I can go see these because, oh my gosh, I am so excited, but also a little bit annoyed that he didn't tell me. Back to the video.
I realize this may seem silly to some, but I am very excited right now because I am a co-cafe on the Disney Wish, and I am about to try a zero proof espresso martini. I don't drink, but the sort of fancy drinks has always been interesting to me, even though I don't want the alcohol. And so I am really excited to try this. Because it's not alcoholic, it has a Mickey on it, which is very cool as well. Because, you can't put Mickey on alcohol, but you can on non-alcoholic. So let me try this. I've never had any kind of martini situation or alcohol, so I don't know how I'm gonna taste this. We'll do it on camera, shall we? Interesting. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
And with that, we are finally leaving Castaway Cay and headed back to Florida. Castaway Cay was a great stop. Hopefully, we will come back here again in the future.
Now, if you've watched our last 2 videos and are wondering how the door saga is going, I can tell you that we thought we were in the clear until I got this message from Adam telling me that he got stuck in the room again. And so if you're counting, that is 3 days in a row of being trapped in the room. I had it, and so I went to guest services to talk to them about a resolution, and they promised me that they would look into it and try to find some other solution for the remainder of our trip since we were doing a back-to-back. And then we headed to dinner in 1923, which is a restaurant, or really pair of restaurants, that are themed after Walt and Roy Disney and celebrate the original animation studios. And they have lots of really cool art around, and you can also expect elevated dishes here.
So Adam's order was a little bit odd, and so we have put one of everything on there, and he's gonna try it. Hold on a second. No.
The main thing to remember about this restaurant is to get the filet. If you don't eat red meat, the salmon is decent, but if you can get the filet, get the filet.
All right, so it is the last cruise day, and we are about to head to breakfast.
Good morning. It is day 4, also known as turnaround day for our back-to-back. And we are in
Roy Disney, 1923.
1923, thank you, Roy Disney side, for Embarkation Day breakfast. We were late. They're being nice anyway. They also were very kind to go get coffee cups from another restaurant so that Adam would have the cups that have the handle, and they just got 2, so I have it now too. It is a little different for us today because originally the plan, we booked the same room on both sailings, so we wouldn't have to pack and we could just go back to our room. However, there's a maintenance issue with our room. So if you're watching the series, you know. And so their plan now is to move us to another room. They don't know where, and they actually don't, it's not a guarantee. They said they're about 90% confident that they will be able to get us another room.
Yeah.
So they asked us to go ahead and pack for that eventuality so that it would be easier to move us to another room. They filled out an upgrade form, and they also told us to check in with the terminal downstairs.
Once we get back off the ship.
The crew on board does not have control of rooms until they set sail. Prior to that, control is with the shoreside team.
Terminal,
and so that's why I believe they're in communication with them, but they don't have control to change us to another room until we get there. Now, we'll be the first to check in. Oh, sorry, come on in. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to be in your way. You good?
Yep, so right now we're gonna, you saw Ben just delivered our breakfast, so we're gonna have to go ahead and do that.
Okay, sorry about that. The server came, and obviously I did not want to be in his way, and now we've had breakfast. Well, most of breakfast. So, that's what I'm saying. They have sent word to the shoreside team that also they asked us to check in with them when we get to the terminal because we're going to be the first to check in. So, into that, we would have, first crack at any, what they said, upgrades, right? So, we may get a nicer room out of it. We'll see. It'll at least be the same, if not nothing.
Did we get a new room? Was it better than the one we had? Tune into our back-to-back review coming up next to see what happened.